What's up, Yins? This week on Car Dad Bill, we have the Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport SEL 4motion. Let's go for a ride. What's up, Yins? Car Dad Bill coming back at you. We got the Volkswagen standing outside of Fox Run Golf Course today. Beautiful day for a car review, and here we are. Let's take a walk around the outside, see what's up. All right, guys, standing outside the Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. Taking a look from the back to start off. There's that fastback design I was telling you about with the hatch back here. Up underneath the Atlas logo. Boom. Filled up. All kinds of stuff in there. It's a huge storage area. Shoot around the back here. Love the fastback design. Love the Cross Sport design. It's got fake dual exhaust pipes down below. You got your 18-inch wheels. And these are some of the wheels that I was telling you about earlier. This is kind of, well, these are 20-inch wheels, excuse me. But these are just boring, plain wheels. Nothing real crazy. Love this little detail here. Cross Sport. Come up front. Headlights, LED daytime runners. It's just a very nice looking SUV on the outside. It's not anything crazy. It's not super wow. It just looks good. It rides good. It's a good vehicle. Let's go inside. All right, Yins, inside the Atlas Cross Sport. And here is the digital dash that I was telling you guys about earlier. Over here is kind of a gauge for your heat, you know, your temperature gauge, and then your fuel over here. But the middle is a actual screen that shows you all the different things you can toggle between the different things using your finger over here. That's where that toggles. Cruise control settings right here, your volume settings, your heated steering wheel. Down there are the headlights, and like I mentioned before, plain, well done, nicely executed, just plain dashboard. Some storage up here. This has the same swipe as the Jetta we had not too long ago. Every time you bring your hand up, selections come up. When you take your hand away, the selections go away. Down here, HVAC controls. We got temperature, the speed, everything else. Storage down below. Storage here, on off button, parking brake. These are your drive modes, parking assist. And then another just seamless, smooth, well-made interior. Again, for Volkswagen. Let's go around back, take a look at the back. Open up the back door. Huge back door, by the way. Huge back door. In here to this gigantic interior cabin space. I mean, it's really plenty of room to sit behind myself, and I even have that seat moved back. Plenty of room. Another thing the kids love are the static seatbelt buckles. I mean, you cannot get any better than that. Back here, huge storage compartment for all your stuff. And then your tilted glass window in the back. Nice design, sunroof up top. Driving around on one of my favorite roads, and for a vehicle this size, it handles extremely well. It's a big vehicle, but a couple of the numbers on this vehicle are, it's got a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine under the hood, which makes 235 horsepower with 258 pound-feet of torque, which is pretty good for this size, but it definitely feels a little bit underpowered I would rather opt for the V6 option in this vehicle for sure, just because of its size. And I'm a little bit torn on this vehicle. I don't know how I feel about it, but let's go over these numbers quickly. So it's got the 2-liter turbo, it's got the 4motion all-wheel drive, and that's all mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. So long time ago when I first reviewed the first Tiguan, or not Tiguan, the bigger SUV, the transmission jumped up and down a lot, and it wasn't very refined. It didn't know where it wanted to be, and made for kind of a lazy performance of the SUV overall. But now with this Atlas and the Atlas Cross, and you have this new platform, the transmissions definitely react better than they did before. Made it to that 8-speed transmission. This thing averages, it says to average 20 miles per gallon. I'm getting just shy of that. I'm averaging right around 14 miles per gallon. Now, I haven't driven this one as much as other vehicles, I'll be frank about that. I just didn't have time to drive around that much this week in this vehicle, but I've driven the Atlas countless times, and this is just a smaller version of that, smaller wheelbase and a little bit smaller inside. But the MSRP on this Cross Sport is where it's really nice. It comes in at $32,445, so that's a good price for something of this size that has this much utility. So I got 5 things about this vehicle that I wanted to go over with you guys, just to give you kind of an overview quickly of what this thing does, what it's for, and how it feels on a daily basis. First thing I want to talk about is that it does everything well. It does. It has great design, great layout. It's plain, in my opinion, but it does everything really well, and it's exactly what you would expect. It's very predictable in its value and what it gives to the consumer. It's a big SUV with some storage, rides comfortably, the interior is quiet, as you can see. It does everything well. That's number 1. Number 2 are the digital gauges that I showed you earlier, and the digital dashboard, and all of the LED lighting, and just kind of its setup in general. I do like that, and that's definitely something to note, because all these new cars get all of this LED treatment anyway, and they get a lot of this stuff anyway. But Volkswagen and Audi are definitely going the digital dashboard route, which I find to be pretty attractive. Number 3 on the list is the large interior. It's absolutely spacious in here, and it has plenty of room in the back for adults and kids, and there's plenty of room, like you saw when I opened the trunk earlier, plenty of space to put hockey equipment, groceries, runs, shopping, travel, whatever you need to do. It's got a large seat back there, and you can fold the seats down to get even more luggage capacity from there. The number 4 on the list of things about this vehicle that stand out to me is just the clean layout, like I mentioned earlier. There's not a whole lot of things that aren't being used correctly. There's not a whole lot of things that are out of place, not a lot of dead space. Everything in here has its function, has its purpose. It's laid out well, and it's easy to learn it. As soon as you get in the car and you look around, you realize, okay, that's where the stereo is going to be. This is where my drive controls are, all of that stuff. So it makes it pretty easy to drive. And the last thing is the smooth ride, the overall ride. Notable. The seats aren't the most comfortable in the world. The seats definitely they're a little bit flatter than most. They're not as supportive, and they're not as soft. But it's not a bad place to spend time. It's quiet, it's refined. It's exactly what you'd expect. And I guess my verdict then in that case is that it's not anything crazy. I was expecting a luxurious, flashy SUV that fits in that genre of the coupe design, and that's just not what this is. This is just a well-made, easy to drive, quiet $32,000 SUV, 5-passenger SUV, and really I can't fault it for that. It's not a bad thing. It's just not what I expected. I expected a little bit more flash and bang, and I didn't get it. But all in all, I give it a thumbs up for sure. Car Dad Bill signing off for you this week. Real cars, real people, real life. I appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Shoot me some comments. We'll have more cars for you. Talk to you soon.